Boleh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, 12, 13. Buat 13. Okay, tak apa. Kita teruskan Boleh Boleh Semua
Boleh,
okay
boleh,
ke?
boleh.
Alright.
Okey.
Uh, Screen boleh nampak ya? I'm just checking. Alik?
Boleh, boleh.
Alright. Alright, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So today I'm going to talk about green materials. Last time I sent you a link on YouTube, basically about the basic of green materials. Green material is a classification of materials which they presume that these materials have some sort of values in which it can be recyclable, it can be something that is sustained, something that is supporting the deforestation. It means that we are against of having the forest being leached from the earth. So it means that we are supporting more green, like more plantation and more trees on earth. So these are the things that we understand about green materials. While the sustainable energy is another story, but it is linked much of the green materials. Sustainable energy is the energy that we are trying to have some uh, um, it means the energy is something that we can reproduce using another alternative, because energy can come from different perspective or different types. It can be electrical energy. So this kind of thing is something that are important and required by us every day. So these are the things that are important for us to know. Alright, talking about building, green building is one of the agenda that when you talk about green materials, there are many questions for us to understand. Okay, maybe we are wondering how the green materials is being implemented in the building. So green building is another part of green materials agenda. Okay, what is green building? What is green? Why is green building important? Okay, there are three aspects of a new project planning. If you are implementing the green building, and of course of anything that you want to do or you wanted to do, should have some constraint and obstacle, some problem to be encountered along the way, and do we actually support the green building? Are we actually living in a green building? And how do we see green building in 10 to 15 years from now? Okay. Okay. The definition of green building is green or sustainable building is the practice of creating healthier and more resource efficient models of constructing, renovation, operation, maintenance, and demolition. It's not just about installing the solar panel on your roof. That is a part of the green building, but it is about the action of ourselves onto supporting the green agenda. Okay, it is mentioned here. We are practicing of creating a healthier and more resource efficient model of construction. Okay? You as a material scientist, you can propose to the company. You can be the consultant. You can suggest that this is a material that have specific strength, at more than 15 megapascal, it can break. However, we want to instill the installation of the green material should instill some sort of values of green. Possibly after 10 years, this part of the building, this part of the roof, this part of the floor will be degraded to a certain extent. So it can be degraded after 10 to 20 years. It is okay because it is supporting. Maybe it is cheap, maybe it is expensive. We do not know. So our role in this case as materials technologies, we can suggest according to our understanding. Because our background is to provide, is to have the fundamental of the materials itself. When we talk about green materials, definitely comes to your mind is that how the plastic that we use every day to buy things. When you do your purchasing, you will get you want a plastic bag. Some store are using paper bag and etc. And you have to pay for it. I think in Selangor, I'm not quite sure about the other states. So that is about our awareness. So it is about the practice of having and supporting the green building. Green materials is very much related to the green building. Green building is a part of the green materials. So it is more to the awareness and how we can make our people realize that the importance of the green building. Anyway, in Malaysia, it is not that what we call that. This is going to be new in Malaysia, but in the advanced country, well-developed country, they have actually done this very well. So green buildings, it is mentioned as high-performance structure that also meets certain standards for reducing natural resources consumption. We are here in Malaysia. We are still being complacent of making buildings without the thinking the outcomes or the consequences in the future of not including the green materials. It requires high awareness of doing this because at some point it needs a lot of budget and etc. Okay, still a challenge. How do we characterize or how do we categorize and put green building as it is? Okay, number one, it is something related to the efficient management of the energy and water resources. It means you're building the building that has the well management of the energy and also the water resources. That is number one. Number two is the management of materials, resources, and waste. You are making a building, you do the purchasing. The raw materials that you use, is it includes the resources from the woods, so which include the deforestation. Those are the things that we should understand. Okay, restoration and protection of environmental quality. Is it comply to this one? Whether your environment is well protected to a certain extent. Enhancement and protection of health and indoor environmental quality. It should show the enhancement of the health. You are living in a very good quality life. Indoor environment quality. Okay, it's very the source of the sun directly go to your place. At some point we need the sun to kill all the bacteria, possibly, definitely be available in the air. Okay, we also need wind. We also need um, the vibes of the night, because we are living in the earth together. So we are enjoying every single bit of the moment as a human, but it is in line with the high quality life. Okay. Reinforcement of natural system, the system that support the any natural resources, but is still under control. Analysis of the life cycle cost and benefit of materials. Is it running okay at your screen?
No, doktor. Doktor punya slide macam tak bergerak.
Okay, sorry about it. I just realized that when I see my iPad, it shows only the first slide. So saya merepek-repek tadi kurang tak apa-apa kau fikir apa lah agaknya. Okay, we are here, right?
Yes.
Can you see the slide clearly as I'm zooming it? Alright, you see that this is why, this is how green buildings are being categorized and so-called sustainable building. Okay, so we are at the point of number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Analysis of life cycle cost and benefit of materials and methods. Okay, and anything that we do, cost is number 1. Not only about creating or building any specific structure, but if you wanted to buy food, you need money. Okay, so cost is highly important. In here, the life cycle cost should be included. Okay, we should be able to estimate how long that one material can be sustained at one particular environment. Let's say in Malaysia, the humidity is these numbers. So your materials could be different from the other country, like in Arabs, in other part of the world, for instance, in the UK or America, and etc. So those are the things that we should be considering when we are making the green building. Okay, it also includes the integration of the decision-making process. How do you integrate the decision-making process to ensure that we are profiting the right benefit to us when we are considering some amount of cost and the materials. Okay, give me a second. I want to plug in the charger. All right. So okay, so we move to the next one. You can see what is green building. I'm going to send you the PowerPoint to you, PDF, so that it is having less size. Okay. We'll talk about green building metrics such as green. Benefits are articulated and certified by LEED. LEED, this is a society that they give like a standard. Okay, the green or other organization, green standards measure different environment qualities of buildings each has a different emphasis and purposes. So it means that when we make a green building, there should be a metric to show that, oh, this is um, comply to the requirement of saying that this building is green. Uh, so before we mention something that is under certain category, so it should have the certain standard. We call it metric. So this metric are certified by certain organization. Okay, moving on. Green building standards. These are some example. Yeah, if you see, number one is LEED, Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. Green globes, model green home building guidelines. Built green, Energy Star, living building. Okay, so these are examples of standard that are available. This is particularly in the United States of America. All right. Why is green building important? Why? We should know why green building is important. Okay. In general, about 8,000 pounds of waste are typically thrown into a landfill during the construction of 2,000 square feet home. Can you imagine if you are building construction, let's say a house of 2,000 square feet, okay, 2,000 square feet, 8,000 pounds, okay, of waste are being produced to the landfill just because to build up a 2,000 square feet of home. So this is some sort of analysis from the United States of America. So in here we still think that, oh, this is not a big thing. This is just like, oh, they are building houses, they are building so much thing these days just to provide the necessity like the stores and etc. But without realizing the importance of having green materials. Okay, the building in the US consume more than twice as much energy as all the car in the US. Energy of the building require more than twice compared to the car in the US. Okay, twice. The number of energy, the volume in this case, the volume of energy that's spent to operate. I mean, like the building itself consume 2 times than the car. Okay. Building accounts for 68 of the total electricity consumption in the US. 68 of the total electricity. It kind of makes sense that because all of us are in the building, definitely, right? We don't really spend like our time outside. So definitely buildings are a shelter to us most of the time during the day or night. So it is, I mean, like, surprised to have that high percentage of consumption of electricity. Buildings use 80% of the total drinking water consumption in the US. Okay, all right. Water are definitely a main source of our life, so we cannot run away from having it said as important because every single thing is water. So indoor levels of pollution are commonly 2 to 5 times higher than outdoor pollution levels. Okay. Wow, this is something that can trigger us to think, oh, actually, although we are in the building, we are still do some pollution. It can be air pollution. It can be that poor management of the waste within the building compared to the outside. Okay, That's why we need to have a proper management of waste. I mean, if you're living in a landed house these days, or anywhere that is landed, there will be a management of the waste, having a bin outside. But when you are living in the um, uh, condominium, for instance, or an apartment, how we manage waste is kind of challenging, because we have to ensure that the waste is being collected at the right time. If let's say it's kind of late, it can affect in terms of the odor, the air of the building, okay, of the whole building. Let's say in this case. So this is important to have not only about the good management, but the quality in ourselves, okay, to understand the real situation. Why we should go for green? Okay, in here it says that green makes business sense. Wow. Okay, because it increases flexibility to allow for longer building and the TI, useful life and reuse of materials. It improves building performance, increase revenue, which is higher rent, sale price, improve productivity, fewer and shorter vacancies. In here, this is correspond to the quality life that we are living. So maybe it also can offer lower costs in terms of utilities and cost of conversion. Okay. The revenue, the value of rents of the houses, and the sale price can be increased. Depends on the value of the value in the market, definitely, but the way we manage things of the building. Okay. Okay. Why go green? Going green is the right thing. Okay. I think everyone understood this. It is the right thing to do. Number one, it reduces carbon consumption, definitely. And then we will be having energy independence. We don't really much dependence on the energy. We realize that these days it's quite depends on location. It's quite hot over here. The temperature increase a little bit, so we feel that we require air conditioner. Myself, I'm under air conditioner in the office now. So we are actually depending on the energy to use the energy. But if you go green, somehow we should be able to modify the surrounding, the buildings. So how to be controlled, as in like the global warming. Things that happen these days is because of the global warming. So if we control things, less pollution, uh, deforestation, so we might not be needing, maybe we can reduce the consumption of the energy in this case. Okay, means that we reduce the our dependency to the energy. We also encourage community and preserve natural system. Okay, it's like back to nature. Every house is promoting the green, and it is a home to live for. Okay, is green real or just a marketing fact? Oh, wow. So there are two things here. Number one, people are making business. Number two, when we realize the important and we actually would like to show our support to the green energy. Businessmen, always a businessman, they can see opportunity to sell things, but in a way that they are human too. If they realize the importance of having our environment green, they could actually see things for a big change, so that all the materials that we use or whatever things are being sold in the market will be under control. Okay. Okay. Green, real or just marketing, LEED. This is a society that provide a standard, has been widely criticized on few things. Focus is not on key factor in current climate change crisis, which is the CO2 and energy. Okay, looks only at the prescriptive design, not measurable performance. Okay, yeah, of course, of the things, anything that we do, we should be able to measure the impact of having things implemented. So how do we measure it? So that is one thing that they could have missed it. They focus on the design, on what we see, rather than what we are going to get. Favors bells and whistles, not basic good design. Okay, too complicated and bureaucratic and expensive. The last point is actually kind of sensible of knowing that it is expensive, because anything that we introduce, although it is good, it requires a lot of money to develop it. So everyone has to realize the compensation that they have to give when they are introducing something new to us. LED not necessarily valued in marketplace. This is their challenge. I'm not talking about this. New project planning. Okay. Construction. So to see the green buildings happen, so in the US, they aim to reduce the amount of waste generated at a construction site. This is the first thing that they do. Okay, reduce the amount of waste generated at the construction site. So how to reduce the amount of waste at the construction site? You have to come up with the new materials that will provide less waste. Okay. Design. In terms of design, building design detail will help to reduce construction materials and energy, water requirements when completed. Okay. Material selection. This is our part. Okay. Careful selection of construction material will leave less of an environmental impact. So as a material scientist, we should be able to provide advices, instruction, so that the right material will be selected to build up a green building. Construction waste accounts for 10 to as much as 30% of municipal waste stream. Municipal ni dia kawasan apa? Macam in the US tu dia panggil municipal tu macam daerah lah. Goal, the goal here is to reduce, reuse, and recycle. Building design based on standard sizes of material. Buy high quality to reduce rejects. Okay. Recycle, use scrap, train crew, renovate an existing building. Okay. To design the building so that it requires less energy and water, and is healthier for inhabitants when it is complete and in use. Okay, this is the goal of the building design. Okay, less energy or water required to build it. Okay, air ducts from an efficient and healthy airflow, insulation. Windows designed for maximum daylight. Okay, passive solar control, solar cells, heat exchanger for climate control system, and the location itself. Okay, when it comes to material, choose materials that have low environmental costs, okay, and do not contribute to indoor air pollution. Engineered lumber, recycle and reclaim materials, doors and windows, energy investment. Floor covering, recycle for with no off gassing, roof materials, energy efficient appliances. Okay, those are the things. Some obstacle, of course, we do. If we do something, there are a lot of resistant obstacle. 90% of the consumer worry about their home's environment performance. Although only 18% are willing to pay for more, reduce the impact. You see, money is always the problem. Okay, although you have high awareness of making things green, but not many people are willing to pay for an extra bucks just because to be compensated with a greener environment. So I don't know. That is the challenge for not only for the government, but the municipal, the contractors, the companies that are introducing green building. So they have to face the reality that people really cares about the amount of money they spend. Okay? Unless you confirm that this is a good thing to sustain and etc. after an extended period. They hire. Okay. Sorry. Saya ingat siapa yang call rupanya ada parents dia call, dia kata ni bahagian pengambilan pelajar ke, sebenarnya tak. So dia kata boleh tak bagi nombor telefon bahagian pengambilan pelajar. So saya pun bagi lah. Okay, iklan. Okay, this one There are higher initial costs for green building. Customers are concerned they would be sacrificing comfort. Okay. Okay, we move to the next one, support for green buildings. Leadership in energy and environmental design, one of the organization. What they did was they introduced a green building rating system, a voluntary city program also has been introduced to create funds and incentives to encourage green building. Austin, Seattle, Berkeley, ini semua kat US dah start to have the green building city program. Internet sites offer tons of guidance. Okay. Alright, that's it for today. I'll be sending the notes to you over the WhatsApp. I'll try my best to make the what we call that, the survey, entrance survey by today, so that you can you have to fill in the form. That is indication like this is the start of the semester. Okay. With that, thank you very much. I hope to see you again. Our next class will be... Bila kelas kita?
Selasa doktor.
Selasa.
Pukul 8.
Okay, Selasa pukul
Selasa
8.
pagi.
Alright. It's really nice to see you. Selasa dah puasa ke belum?
Belum.
Belum ya? Okay lah.
Selasa.
So,
Puasa. Selasa puasa.
Puasa, first day.
oh ya ke? Okay, saya ucapkan selamat puasa kepada semua. Nanti kita jumpa lagi lah masa hari puasa tu kan? Tapi tak cuti kan?
Tak ada.
Tak cuti.
Tak ada